to anybody viewing them something about the man.
He talks about, in some of their early works, having to go out and source his metal, and going out and finding scrap, and that built his aesthetic.
It's not polished or chromed or any of that. It's rough, raw steel. It's a working person's material. It's the material that built this city.
He's never forgotten from whence he's come. It's almost as if the South Side roots that he is quite proud of are embodied in everything that he creates.
There are a lot of really, really good sculptors in this city. And I always think that Richard Hunt is the guy who led the way. His sculpture was so groundbreaking and radically new at the time that he was making it, and still is.
Richard had his first show at the Museum of Modern Art in New York before he'd even finished grad school here in Chicago. And while that's becoming more and more common, in the 50s that was completely unheard of. He was clearly recognized as a prodigy decades ago, but he's never rested on those early laurels. He's continued to innovate, he's continued to teach, he's continued to teach himself about metalwork, about sculpture, about lyricism.
Every place he goes, he learns something new, because he comes back and he tells you. He says, I just saw this, I thought that's amazing. So it's stored back in his mind, and it will be reflective in his work at some point in time.
The first Richard Hunt sculpture I saw is called Flight. And it was a couple tons of steel, and for some reason, he turned it into something that looked like it was about to bust into flight.
All the work throughout his career has held this beautiful sense of movement. It all kind of literally reaches toward the heavens. It's like a bird in flight, or a flame that's been frozen. There's a real sense of like kineticism and balletic movement in all of his objects.
Even though he works in such hard, steel and brass and bronze pieces, it's soft, emotional.
The works that we're blessed to have at Ravinia are proof positive of that. There's both whimsy and great power.
He, as much as anyone else, believes that maybe art belongs to the people, and art should be seen by as many people as possible.
He's not motivated by personal gain. He's motivated by the art itself.
One of the joys of walking around the city is finding a Richard Hunt sculpture. I mean, you can see it everywhere, south side, west side, north side. He really has left a real imprint on the city.
Everywhere I look, there's some evidence that he's traveled this city. He's got a piece somewhere. I think of his sculptures as like the night watchman of this city. Some of them bring to mind angels or birds. They keep watch over us.
In honor of the metal materials Richard Hunt works with, please welcome to the stage another set of metal artists, the 4-Star Brass Band.
Thank you.